Oi oi, Yuzi here. Welcome to another episode of Thru The DAW, the official Broken Bricks podcast. In this podcast, we talk to music industry professionals about their careers, and we try and get some hints and tips about how they develop their career so that you can develop yours. In this episode, we had the absolute pleasure of sitting down with a new vocalist on the scene. She's massively blowing up at the moment. She won the Voice competition on TV in 2018. Her name's Ruti, and she's got a very interesting perspective coming from the angle of basically what do you do after you win a national TV competition. She was kind of mentored by Sir Tom Jones, and she's got an interesting perspective to take on that. You know, it's not all roses when you win something like that, and there's a lot of challenges that come with it. And she talks very candidly and very frank and honest about those things, and about now what she's doing in self-releasing. She has released her self-released EP, which is called All at Once, and I highly urge you to go and check it out. It's a very summertime, chill-out vibe. Her voice is astonishing. Obviously, that's why she won The Voice. Yeah, man, just check it out. She's so nice, so lovely, and she's got some really, really good insight. And I honestly, genuinely believe that Ruti, if you don't know her now, you definitely will do. She's going to be as big as Adele, in my opinion. I'm saying that now, so hold me to it. All right, I'm going to hand over to the podcast. Do not forget to subscribe to the channel. The channel is Broken Bricks. Broken Bricks as well have got a new single coming out called Tapestry on the 9th of July. I had to think about that then. And we've also got some more news coming around the corner as well, which is really exciting. So stick around and yeah, enjoy the pod. I'll shut up and get on with it. All right, cool. Don't forget to subscribe on the YouTube channel as well, and follow us on Thru The DAW, which is DAW_podcast on your Instas, and have a look on there too. All right, sweet. See you in a bit. Bye.
Same as
Yeah,
me,
just gain it a little bit.
Gain him
not,
up.
Not loads though. But
Mine is all the way up.
That's no, you don't. Yeah, that's fine. You don't need. Probably
Yeah,
don't
you
need
sound
that.
right.
Yeah. It
Okay.
sounds good.
Cool.
How's it going?
Yeah, not bad. Thank you.
Thank you so much for
bad.
taking a bit of time out.
Yeah, no, thanks for having me. It's cool.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. Welcome to the podcast as well, to Thru The DAW.
Thanks. Sorry that I had to delay it. I
That's all right.
double booked and Mark put it in the wrong diary, and it was all like,
Mark.
fine.
Cool.
I did get to go to the cinema though, so that was fun.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah,
What did you
that's
watch?
We watched Cruella. I went with my mum and my sister.
Yeah, I want to see it. I think
you know
she's
what?
amazing, Emma Stone.
It was actually really good. Like, I really, really enjoyed it. I was a bit like, I don't really like films because I'm really bad at focusing on stuff. So I don't love watching films, but I usually enjoy a film when I watch it. So I was a bit like, but I actually really liked it, so it's fine.
Yeah, I suppose cinema's the best way as well. If you're not like,
God, yeah.
you got to. Sometimes I'm the same though, because there's so many distractions. Right, you've got the phone.
Yeah.
iPads is like Instagram's a movie killer nowadays, isn't it? You're just going to check out your Instagrams. But at the cinema, I do tend to like just put everything away, get the bucket of popcorn out.
It's just
is
me
better.
and popcorn, really. That's it, and I'm just constantly feeding it into my mouth.
Right, hold on. Sweet or salty, though?
I prefer salty.
Yeah, exactly. I'm all about that.
Today we had 2 boxes.
Nice.
I don't like mixing them together.
No, what? That's the best.
But like,
you don't know what you're going to get. You're like,
I don't like that because sometimes it's
No,
both.
I don't.
Sometimes
Yeah.
it's both, and I'm not really about that. So
I'm
it's
with
like,
you. I'm
pass me.
just salt. Yeah, all day.
Yeah.
That's me.
no, man.
Pass me the salt.
The only one I
Pass me the
don't like is the toffee. That
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, it's a bit much.
Yeah, I'm not into that. That sucks. But it nearly happens to me every single time I go to the cinema. I get some popcorn, and then you know how like the little kernels split off a little bit of shell.
Yeah.
And that like half a tennis ball when you stick it to your hand or something, it sticks to the back of my tongue.
Yeah,
You
and
know,
then
like
you can't
suckers
get it
on.
off.
And then you're there on a date or something like
Yeah,
Smooth.
that's the only way it comes off as well.
Yeah. It
such
is,
a horrible thing.
Quality.
Yeah, it's always a good way to start a date.
It is beautiful. Well, thank you for joining us, Ruti.
That's okay.
It's lovely to have you on the podcast. It's want to kind of talk about your journey and everything you've been doing music-wise since.
Cool.
And I think a good place to start is where you began, really, musically. I think.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, let's do it. Jump in.
So, I've been like interested in music since I was about 11. If we're starting right at the beginning, but I've always done performing. I've always danced. I've always done like musical theatre stuff. But when I got into secondary school, I started to play guitar, started to sing, so like on my own. And then
did you just one day sound like that and go, oh well, that's me sorted for the rest of my life? Or
in a weird way, I feel like that's how I remember it, because
really.
Before this one specific performance that I did, I didn't really sing. I, for some reason, decided one day, do you know what, I'm going to do this like talent show, but I'm going to sing instead. I can't make up a dance, so I'll just sing a song that I know. And I just started I just bought 21 by Adele. So like I knew all of the songs on that. So I thought might as well just go for it. Didn't have a backing track, didn't know what that was, so I just sang it a cappella.
Nothing like really, right in the deep end.
Yeah. It was rolling in the deep, obviously. As well.
Nice, even better. Big tune.
It was probably pretty bad, but I won, so.
Nice. So what does that say about everyone else that was in there?
I think I don't know actually. It was like a park resorts kind of haven. Other parks are available kind of thing.
Yeah.
So
sorry, we're not the BBC. It's not.
Yeah.
Not the BBC
my sister
now.
was the entertainment's direct, like not like one of the entertainment like girls that did it for park holidays. She did all like the kids stuff as well as performing. It's great.
Really? Yeah. I did another talent show when I was a little bit older, like maybe 13, and the guy that was like the head of all of the entertainment stuff was like, when you're 16 you can have a job here. I was like, sick.
Wow.
Yeah.
But I didn't, unfortunately.
Did that make you think like, shit, I really need to pull this singing out the bag to make sure I don't end up working here? Or
actually, I was really excited. I was like, do you know what? I don't even mind doing this every single day.
There's worse job.
Yeah. So fast forward to kind of sixth form. In my, it was kind of like first and second year. I was doing like all the music things that I could possibly do, music performance, music technology, and drama for some reason. And then I just auditioned for The Voice, and then I won. And then that's kind of
everyone else was crap in that contest as well. So.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Nailed it. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it was. It's like it's been such a blur since then and during that period as well, because I was doing my A-levels and after The Voice it finished in like April, so I still had a couple months of sixth form as well to finish, so I had to go back and like finish that. I didn't do amazingly, but who cares, because at that point I had like a record deal with Polydor, and like a management contract and publishing and all of these amazing things, things that should be amazing. And yeah, obviously it wasn't exactly what they paint it to be. I wasn't necessarily expecting incredible stuff and, you know, them to really take it seriously and stuff like that. But it was difficult. It wasn't for me particularly. And yeah, so that's kind of how I got to where I am now. And I'm still grateful for those things that happened. And that through that, like I was only with them tied to that thing or that package for like a year.
Right. Okay.
And you get to choose what you do in that year, like or they say you need to do X, Y, and Z and record this. There
was like terms that I had to meet and stuff, and it was like what I was meant to do. Well, actually, no, I won't say that. But
That's right. No one listens to this podcast anyway.
Well,
that's a lie.
Yeah.
That is a lie.
Yeah, no, no. What? Yeah, it was just like I did my EP, and there was a possibility for an album, but I got dropped before that. Which I was expecting. I kind of wanted that to happen anyway, because I was like.
Yeah.
I got to quite a bad place at that point as well, because I was 18 and I didn't really know what was going on, and I didn't have the support that I needed. There was people there to talk to me, but I didn't really hear from them very often, and I didn't feel like I could talk to them either, because I was like, I don't want to be annoying. I don't really want to like ask for stuff or ask what's going on or ask things to be explained to me, because I felt like. When they were explained to me, or like, when they were explained to me, I just felt a bit patronised in a way.
Things are being explained to you at a million miles an hour when you've just won this huge contest in like bright lights, photographs, and then someone's explaining the T's and C's.
Yeah.
How are you? And you're 18. Like, how are you supposed? I remember what I was like when I was 18.
Yeah. I mean,
now I wouldn't know,
But it's because I think like I've had experiences in music, and it's like when it becomes business, or when like you're exposed to the business side of it, and you're like, oh fuck no, this is like actually this is like a proper cogs in the machine thing. Like I'm now a product, or something you're made is something to be sold, and it's like there are there's very successful labels that manage to maintain that business side of it and allow proper development in somebody, but like unless you sort of see it or go through it, you're never going to know that, are you? Like no. You're an amazing artist that did extremely well in a competition that was linked to a record deal, but it's your first exposure, and it's like, I mean, fucking hell, like, I mean, how hard is that? Like I can only sympathise with sort of how much sort of eye-opening that must have been, and extremely difficult finding yourself. You know what I mean? You're a teenager. Do you know? You know what I mean?
It was like eye-opening in a way. I kind of, in a way, I was a little bit naive, but mostly I was like, I've seen films. I know this isn't going to be all amazing stuff. No,
only at the cinema, though, right?
Yeah,
only at the cinema.
I only watch.
Fuck it at home. No.
But like, I don't know. It was difficult, but I'm in a really good position now. And like, even like right now, I've got so many exciting things that are about to happen. And I just feel really, well, I mean, I have weeks where I'm like, I don't think I'm good enough to do this anymore. I don't want to do it anymore. I just want to go back to something else. I don't know what I'm going back to, because I've never done anything else or been interested in anything else. But like,
Butlins or wherever it was.
Yeah, I could.
That's standard though, isn't it? Like, I mean, in terms of sort of self-doubt is extremely natural. And it's like, we have days, I mean, Lee and I have been working together in music for a long time now, and it's like, countless conversations, just can't bother to do this shit anymore. And it destroys you a little bit, but every time you get that little bit more resilience, right? And it's like, actually, I still love it. It's still in your blood. It's in you, isn't it? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
And every time you get that little new skill, or you meet someone new, and it opens doors to getting excited again. It's like from little things. Like, I mean, we used to sit in rooms and play guitars, and that was it. Like, we had a band, that was it. And then I got into electronic production, and Lee got into electronic production. Then it was like, every time there's a new tool or a new toy, and it's like, we can write like this or record like this. And I think if you're a creative, that's you still will always get excited by those little elements. I think. And
I think you've got to stay a little bit. You've got to feel a little bit deer in the headlights as well.
Yeah,
and I don't just mean in music. In my opinion, I'm about 500 years older than you are, and I still feel the same way in certain circumstances. I'm going into something thinking, why am I even doing this? I could just. But I always find that when you get through to the other side of it, there's all this like euphoria and this, you feel like you've learned something and like you've broken through, and then next thing you know, it's a week later and you're doing it again on some other thing. And so I don't think that ever goes away. I think that's just a good indication that you're actually doing something with your life.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't really worry too much about that feeling. But there's a lot of, I've got a feel for the people that kind of like go through the similar kind of process that you went through, but don't necessarily have not just the talent, because you've obviously got raw talent, but you can see that you've put effort into songwriting, song structuring, and guitar playing and instrument playing and things like that. So was that always like an important element for you before you even got involved in the voice? Like, was you sitting in rooms playing guitar and kind of...
Yeah. I mean, I played, before I went on to The Voice, I'd been playing guitar for about 4 years, I think. And I was always trying new chords and stuff. I did have guitar lessons when I first started as well, but then like once I'd stopped those, I kind of was just figuring out stuff for myself. I'm still not amazing, but like it's really helped me with like new chord patterns and like weird ways to structure songs. I know that like most of my songs that are out are like quite pop structure, and like I've been writing since I was like, I don't know. I've been writing since I was like 13, but I never ever finished songs, but I like tried at least.
Do you mean finishes in like structures, or do you
I
mean finishes
like
in...
finished at all? Like I just wrote kind of verses and choruses and then kept singing those for weeks and then just forgot about them. Until I had to like actually finish coursework, I was like, yeah, it doesn't matter, just leave that. But I mean, I always wanted to be a part of the songs that I write or that I was singing, and I always wanted to write. I'd be in the room, write some of it at least, because I was really nervous going into my first session as well, because, like I said, I'd never finished a song before. I'd never written with other people because I was scared to like, it wasn't really scared about like bearing my soul or whatever. It was more about like, the words that I'm using, are they right? Am I being clever enough? Am I being too clever? Which was never the case. But like, I didn't want to. I don't know. I was just scared. I was just scared to write songs, and I also didn't really feel like I had anything to write about. Anything. Yeah, I was like, nothing's happened. I've won The Voice, but that is literally
nothing's happened. Yeah. Regular Tuesday, isn't it? Won The Voice. Tom Jones is ringing me every 5 minutes, but
But I did feel now like I can write on my own, which is really weird. And like, at the time I had done music tech A-level, so I know how to use Logic. I didn't really have all the plugins that were like good sounds, but I could still like put things together that sounded kind of good, and I could record my own vocals. I could record guitar and stuff, so that's really helped me.
Done then, isn't it? That's
literally. And like I mostly use like voice notes now as well. Even when recording guitar, like I like the kind of crispy sound that it has, like when putting it into actual songs and stuff like that. So yeah, I can't remember what the question was, but
me neither.
But you'll get a lot of that as well, because I just always forget.
No, it was more just, was it a conscious sort of effort? I guess it's a silly question really, because you can't have a conscious effort because you're not going to know that you're going into The Voice, but there's a lot of people that kind of, they go into these type of shows and they don't really have much beneath the veneer of kind of like, makeup and singing or whatever, and once they get past that point of singing other people's songs, it kind of all, unless they've got like a team of people around them all writing tunes and stuff, it kind of fizzles out. And for like 95% of them, they just vanish.
Yeah,
it's interesting that, because like when I had my first sort of dealings with record label stuff, and like people that I met a lot of singers that were like top line writers, And that's it. Like, they work with a production team. They work with two guys that are producers, whether they're in London or whatever. And then a girl will come in, typically a girl. That sounds extremely sexist, but it just was. And it'd be like a female vocal, and then they'd have lyrics out for them, and then they'd just say, "I like sing a top line." And that was sort of like that mentality. Then obviously crossed over to sort of the assumption that you're just a singer. You're not necessarily an artist, right? To people, and it's like, well, you know, like, so Chrissy, our singer in our band Broken Bricks, she did music tech, knows how to use Logic, records her own bits, you know, and like it's like, I mean, we kind of bypassed that. We just went in bands and then kind of got that kit, and it's just a much more interesting way because you don't have to rely on other people. But it's interesting to see like the actual change in the music industry's approach to it, because clearly you're very talented. Clearly you're able to structure songs on your own, on your computer, on your Mac indoors, you know, like, and that, I don't think, even now though, to be fair, that they don't really know what to do with that, a lot of people and a lot of labels and stuff, because they want to pay the money for the production team. They've got this album that's written and all that sort of shit. And it's like, that is, I mean, that it is creative. It's still a big thing to do. You know, writing a song is hard, you know, like that is relatable. But when you're messing about with like little drum sounds and stuff, and like making them sound massive and using voice notes and that, and then that goes into a studio because you get to meet an engineer who's like sick and can open up Logic and then throw shit in Pro Tools and show you all this analog stuff. And it's like, they're still using your voice note on your iPhone. It just, they know how to run it and make it sound massive, you know? And it's like, all that stuff is it's mad exciting to me still, and I think it's what's making artists better, and more accessible and more exciting. Like, you're an exciting artist because you've got that about you, right? So you've got an amazing voice, but you're able to do much more than was maybe required or asked of you at the time, right? And
well, it's a good point that because you've self-released, right, on this latest release that you did. On Ruti Records, or
it's I'm working with the Orchard at the moment, and that's been really great for me because like, it's literally whatever I want. It's literally
brilliant.
And like, I haven't produced any of the tracks that were on this latest record, but like not a lot of them, actually, quite a few of them. There's only 4, but like, I had a version of it, like really the roughest demo ever. That was like, you know, shared in the session and stuff.
But that's the thing, like the development that you start from a very different point as opposed to just walking in a room and going, "Oh well, cool. Can you just sing this?" Do you know what I mean? It's like no, actually, because I like these sort of sounds, and this is what I want to do, and that approach is. But it's also like far more relatable, isn't it? It's what people want to hear now, and you know, like I know that the Hacks and Cloak work with Björk, and I love Björk, like absolutely, and FKA Twigs works with him, and Twigs writes like a lot of her shit, you know, and then he puts it into these crazy weird warp structures and stuff, and it just that collaboration is like. That got me mad excited, like seeing her, and also with like the performance side of it and stuff. But again, it was sort of the start for me to see artists that it was just far more involved, and it's a beautiful thing that's happening more so now. Do you know what I mean? It's big.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Are you talking about collab then? I love, by the way, the mix of kind of like, I love the summertime vibe. I think I've found my new barbecue EP. I was going to say album, but I love it. I love even the fact that this is kind of like a seasonal thing, right? So you're going in from but even the winter one seemed kind of summery to me. But and I really like the way you're drifting from kind of like that acoustic, and I don't mean acoustic guitar, but I mean just acoustic live instrument, you know, organic sound, and then you've got that kind of underlaying synth on some of a couple of the tunes as well, and things like that, like electronic element. Is that how it's coming from your demo? Like, are you getting involved in the electronic side and putting the synths in and doing all that kind of stuff? Like, or is that kind of something that's being embellished when you get into the studio?
That's something that's embellished usually, because some of the songs that are on that EP were kind of before I was completely away from Polydor.
Oh, okay, right.
So like some of them were like, you know, it was kind of I go in with 2 top liners and there's a producer as well, and we all kind of just figure out something, and then I go away and then I get the demo and stuff. So, but they were the progressions and the backing vocals and the kind of atmosphere and stuff. There's kind of things that I'd said in the sessions and stuff like that. And so yeah, I'm hoping that in the future I will like get to be co-producer. Maybe not necessarily it would be credited as that, but I want to be there when it's being produced, because I do know exactly what I want things to sound like.
Yeah, that's cool.
And I can play stuff in, and I can mess around in Logic, even though, like, again, I can't play piano very well. So when I like put in stuff, I'm like manually putting notes in and stuff. But I know like how harmonies work and stuff. So it's just like, I know that I've learned from my last couple of projects that I want to be there when it's being created, so that it feels like even more of myself is in those tracks. Yeah,
it's that development as well. I mean, like at that point, once you've got like the production side down, you're basically the entire package. You can even go on tour on your own. You don't really need a band. I saw, I can't remember what stage it was, but I think it was back in 2019. I saw on your Instagram that you got pulled up on stage with like 10-minute warning and played in front of about 25,000 people.
Oh yeah, that was like
nice, that dude.
Yeah, like me and Warren could not. I mean, we could maybe pull something together, but for Broken Bricks, like we're still trying to figure out how we're going to take it live. You just got on a stage within 10 minutes and handed a guitar. You know, that's
done. Yeah.
I'm also like working, well, since like the beginning of lockdown, I was like, do you know what, I'm going to learn how to loop in Ableton. So I've been working on that as well. So you know, when I can't afford to take my whole band with me, I'm going to be able to take my laptop and my launch pads, and it's going to be cool. I've always wanted to do that, like since I started music. Just always seen like artists that do that kind of thing. I'm like, it's just so sick. It's amazing. And I like using my voice as an instrument because I can only play guitar.
It's unbelievable that Chrissy's not on this as well, because she's so she's exactly like you. Like she's exactly the same. She uses her instrument. She's very percussive in it as well. Where is she, by the way?
I don't know. Where is Chrissy?
She's supposed to be on. We've lost her. We can't get hold of her. She's vanished all day. Gosh. Yeah, she was supposed to come on, but she's just absolutely vanished.
Yeah, so. she's a big fan as well. Which is
she really is. Yeah, she absolutely loves your music as well. Yeah, God knows, she's probably been hit by a bus or something.
I mean, yeah, that's nice. Yeah, go on, sling it on here.
If she has, I'm in serious trouble.
You are bad. So like, Ableton's a godsend of a thing, though, isn't it? I mean, I started messing about with it years and years and years ago, and I did a tour without using it. Actually, Logic had this thing called Mainstage as part of it. Just don't ever use it. It's dog shit. So is the long and short of it, because there's no ability to do any live manipulation or anything like that. Like you could launch stuff on it, but it just wasn't good, and it still isn't. It's still part of Logic, I think, but like it's just it works as a DAW, like. But yeah, I don't know. But Ableton's just a lot of fun, and it's a lot of fun to mess about live with as well, and the reliance on the fact that the audio engine works, and like when your playback situation is good, and if you are recording bits into it as well, like it's cracking.
You can get like the pedal boards as well now, can't you? And, and like the Ableton Push and stuff.
I want the Ableton Push so badly.
Send them an email, right, and tell them what you're doing. I swear to God, they will send it to you. Just do it. They gave us like discount for Ableton just for going. We're going to use it for stuff, and I have done, and they did.
They should be falling. They should be falling over themselves.
Nothing, I swear.
Gonna get my manager on that because he
knows how to
guy.
Flag.
But yeah, no, I'm not good at Ableton though. Like I can do the loop stuff. I can kind of manipulate the plugins already, but it's just because I've been using Logic for quite a few years. I'm like, I don't get it. I don't know where all the shortcuts are.
Yeah. So it's that thing of speed, isn't it? When you want to just knock a tune together quickly.
Yeah.
Because same's really. But like, if you use the other view on Ableton, you can use it just like Logic, really.
Yeah.
So like, and I got used to that. But again, it's still that thing of like just finding stuff, isn't it? It's the same with me. Really. I've got Pro Tools, Ableton, and Logic all on my computer, and I still open Logic most of the time.
Yeah, exactly.
I just do. Yeah, it's just the way. But it's no, go on, sorry.
No, that's cool. I want to. Actually, I can't remember what I was going to say. I think I was. Sorry. I think it was.
It happens to me all the time.
Yeah.
About being like. Oh yeah, no. I just want to know how to use it now. Like I want to perform now with looping and stuff, but I can't because I'm like really slow, and I'm like, I have to practice it several times to just get like a little section down so that I'm not as slow when I'm like trying to record it. Because I did like in the third lockdown, I tried to do some like little throwback performances of my debut EP and like my own versions and looping the vocals and stuff. But I had to, there was one time where it took me like about 6 hours to record one of them that was about a minute long because I just kept pressing the wrong thing. And then I wouldn't like, it was a very stressful day. But like, I just want to be able to do stuff now. But I need to practice. I'm not very patient.
Yeah.
It's that thing when you get a toy though, isn't it? And it's like, I'm rubbish for reading stuff. Like I just am. Like I'll get a synth and that, and like I'll figure out a way of using it. It's like that's fine. Do you know what I mean? Like I still haven't got a keyboard for one of these synths, and it's got a button, and you can just change it. And it's like I still haven't sorted the MIDI keyboard out on it because I can't be asked to get one. So it's like I figured it out. I sort of know how to make a bank on it and stuff. It's like it's just whatever. Like just you know what I mean?
Yeah, it will do.
Bypass. If it works, it works to a degree, right?
Exactly.
Exactly it. We've got 20 million cables and like a massive set of plugs that are about to explode. But other than that, it's perfect.
Yeah.
All good. So I've got a question for you.
Cool.
When you first met Mark Watts, because he's been a guest on this podcast.
Actually, we were talking about you on that podcast.
We were.
He came on. It was a while ago now, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was in our first incarnation of this podcast.
Yeah.
So when you first met Mark, what was your immediate reaction to meeting Mark? I love asking people this question.
It was weird because I don't know. I was kind of scared because I don't like talking to people on the phone, and he had been speaking to my mum up to that point because I know him through one of my old vocal coaches,
right?
And like he obviously has the studio, so when I was like leaving school, he was like, oh maybe, well actually he was the one that like called me up about The Voice, called my mum up about The Voice. So I hadn't spoken to him, and then I think I was like, oh I'll call him, or he was like, you call me so that you can just update me on what happened after The Voice, because I still didn't meet him when I was on the show. And then like I rang him and I was like, hi, is that Mark? And then he was like, who? I was like, is that Mark Watts? And he was like, no, I think you got the wrong number, mate. Sorry. And I was like, oh no, I'm really sorry. And then he was like, nah, only joking. I was so scared. I was like, oh no. And the first time I actually met him in person,
Mark, isn't it?
Like from the first day that I met him, I don't know, I was just so overwhelmed by the energy that was going on.
He's just a big ball of energy, isn't he?
He's a tornado. I love him. I love him for it. Like he's. We had a great conversation with him, and I do another podcast as well, a mental health one, and his nephew George was on it recently. I'm sure you might have met George.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and again, the reaction to Mark is just that he is this massive, lovable whirlwind of energy.
Yeah.
For someone that doesn't drink or has never.
I don't understand.
It's just crazy, but he's got excitement about music and knowledge. And I've said this to a lot of people. Like when I first ever bought a computer, he was managing my partner at the time and her singing career and stuff. And I was in a band and that, and I sort of bought a Mac and was like, so I've bought Logic. I've got the dongle thing in, it's all good. I can't open anything, and like it's sort of, like this was like early FaceTime, I think, as well. So it's just showing me how to like open plugins and stuff. I'm just sitting there just going, oh my god, and just, like, making like really early like terrible dubstep copies. Basically, is what I was doing. But like, Yeah, he's pure energy and excitement for music, and he's got an extremely good ear for song structure, Mark.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Like, he really, really has, and he's worked with some amazing people, obviously, including yourself. So
yeah, it's like it. I think we work perfectly because I'm. Oh, what's going on?
Whose door's that?
I think it's mine. I think someone just arrived. But yeah, no, I like it. It works perfectly because I'm not quiet necessarily, but I kind of am more quiet than Mark is. And I don't really
everybody is more quiet.
98.9% of the population.
But I don't like to,
Yeah.
it's not a confrontation in like a bad way, just like talking to people and stuff. I don't mind doing it, but he's definitely more forward. Right. And then I'm in these situations where Mark's like just been like, go on then, Roots. And I'm like, okay, I now have to talk to people and I don't want to. It was better when you were doing it. But like it's good, it works.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's just really great.
I've never seen him in a bad mood ever.
No. I mean,
I don't think it exists for mine.
No. Like, yeah, no, I don't think so. Like, he'll be not in a he'll be like not in a bad mood, but in a bad mood, but still his exact same way.
Yeah.
It's very confusing, and it's 100% all the time. I remember once, like, I think me and some guys in a band called 2 Year Break. And Mark, we'd all gone to see Don Broco, and it was like 3 a.m. on the way back, and he was still like wide awake. Everyone else was asleep. One of them was throwing up, and he was just laughing so much. And I was like, I just want to like not. Yeah. Can you just turn the volume down just a tad?
You're one of many people that have said that to me about him.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
But he's great. He is
beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. It's just like lovely how sort of music brings people together, though. In my opinion, his studio has been, which is the White Rooms as well. We should sort of plug it.
Yeah, big up. We're talking about Mark Watts of the White Rooms.
Watts of the White Rooms.
Artist manager extraordinaire, mental head case, lovely man.
Yeah, he is.
Check him out.
Just built a pub in his garden as well.
Yeah,
he doesn't even drink.
So good.
Doesn't drink either.
Doesn't even drink. Yeah,
no.
So good, isn't it? Yeah,
it's like, amazing.
I mean, his gaff is like unreal. I was in there the other day. That was just like, it's so like perfect. Like,
yes.
I mean, everything's been French polished and like it's a pub. He's got an actual pub in his garden. It's unreal.
It's all like old pub furniture as well.
Yeah,
so it's like a real thing.
It's well good.
So how is it working out with, obviously you're self-releasing, but so we're going through the same thing, right? We're releasing it's not new for us, but it's a new in terms of the world doesn't know what it is yet. Broken Bricks. We've only got a couple of singles out. Mm-hmm. And when you don't have a label, you are the marketing person, the editing, you're the everything, right? You've got to do the videos, you've got to think of everything. And obviously you're self-releasing. So how's that working out for you? You've obviously got Mark in your corner kind of like, making things happen, but have you built a team around you, or are you sort of like keeping your eye out for labels, or are you just ignoring them and just doing your own thing, or what?
It's with the Orchard, they've got like some people on hand that you can use. So like we've used a couple of times, like someone's helped me with social media adverts and stuff like that. But the first release that we did, I made the music video because there was nothing else that we could have done. I edited it all together, and then the second music video was a little higher budget, but it comes out of of my pocket, and then I bring in all these people together, telling them my ideas and stuff, and organising a date and stuff, and then keeping up to date on social media and stuff, and let people know what I'm doing.
Yeah. It's that thing that like we've sort of, it's like we've finished recording an album the best part of a year and a half ago, right? And we had the best time making it. It was like so much like it was just an amazing journey. We went from being a punk band called Bricks to finding Chrissy and making this kind of crossover between electronic and sort of disco indie sort of stuff, and like learning about sort of like just how our voices work together. Chrissy's got this soulful voice. And it was just like how to sort of like make it work. And then we got like an image and we got a bit of a logo situation, and we've had like stylists in and like loads of like really good photo shoots and shit along the way. But like every time it's just, I don't know, like it's because of like lockdown as well, especially, it sort of proper stopped us. And it was like, right, so we just wanted to do what we used to do, is like get in a room, get live again and play shows, you know, and like get people to see us and like, and it's just been like, because it's been really slow. Like we had like, I think
this, the part for me is it's such everything that's involved in the process to getting music out there is such a big detraction from actually making music.
Yeah.
It frustrates me.
It feels like between everything is such a long time.
Yeah.
Because, like, I mean, I'm sure for people that are like wanting to hear the music, they're like, oh, why is it taking so long?
Yeah.
It's like, well, I mean, I have to make the music and then I have to sometimes record the video, and then we need to like put it in the thing and then get like at least 6 weeks or 4 weeks before we actually like put it out there to like contact the press and like get interviews and sometimes shoots. I have got a PR. We've just like brought a really amazing PR called Jess Lamb. Shout out to Distinct Space for that she like sorts all of that stuff out, and that's obviously that would have been another thing that I would have been like, I don't know what to do. I don't understand how I get contact people.
Yeah. It's that thing, isn't it? Like getting the right relationships as well, because like we've had like certain PR people we've been working with and distributors and stuff, and like it's on our own label, but like at the same point, obviously you still need distribution to sort of put it out there and like people to sort of do the work for you, and that costs money. Do you know what I mean? And like we did 2 lockdown videos. One with edit, like Chrissy and I basically spent a day by the seaside. I lived by the seaside, so it was fine. And then got really pissed all day, and then Lee cut it up and wasn't in the video basically. and then the next one, it was sort of half animated, half not, and like that was a bit.
It's hard work, though, isn't it?
It's just because you don't really know what, especially at that time recently, like you didn't know what was right to do. Did you just sit on it? Like, and we have sat on stuff because obviously. You can't go out and meet people and look people in the eye and they can see what you're about and that's such an intrinsic part of enjoying music, isn't it? You know.
Well, that's a good point actually. I guess the whole COVID thing has put a real dampener on you getting in front of people. Right, you're probably at the most important point where you really need to build that fan base, and it seems like you're doing a really good job of it, online and stuff. But you need to be in front of them.
Yeah, definitely. I still haven't technically done like a headline solo gig yet. I've done a couple of festivals back in 2019, and I've got a couple of festivals this year. But again, it was like, you know, lineups were already booked from the last year.
2020, right? Yeah.
And then like just suddenly everything's back, and it's like, oh, okay, well now we have to get on the festivals that don't have complete lineups yet, but then that's really difficult. And then we've just booked my first gig, which is going to be at Hoxton Colours on the 14th of July, hopefully.
Oh, nice.
As long as, you know, everything doesn't get pushed back again.
Yeah.
And I'm like really excited about that because like I haven't done that yet. And the last year, like I did lots of like online festival things where I had to film like 3 songs and then like edit it all, and that was so long, and also no money at all. So like it was just really difficult to like, people would expect you to create these performances for online stuff, but there was nothing, like I didn't get anything in return. And I got the exposure, but sometimes it's like I am still living off of this career, and I'm not living off of like £500,000 from The Voice. That's not what happened. It's like literally nothing from that. And so, you know, that part was like really difficult because it's like, okay, if I don't get money from these performances that I'm doing, then how am I going to fund things like music videos and other things that I want to be doing to help myself and life? Yes.
Yeah, just life.
Like
just
food.
Like, go for dinner and that, and see friends and like live like everybody else. You know, it's like I think it's a hard thing because I mean it's that more so like more and more so now you realise that you're paying for exposure
Yeah.
all the time, and that's it. Like and then like you might get sort of a sponsorship thing, but then you got to be comfortable with that sponsorship too, right? I mean, certain brands I'd feel massive, talking like pie in the sky, but massively sort of uncomfortable with. But then it's like, what do you do? Just swallow it and take the money, or what? I mean, you have to have sort of this weird sort of moral standing versus like living and also being creative. Because again, when you start to take the lifeblood out of being creative, which is exactly that, like making music and enjoying it, I mean, like that business side of it's got to be justifiable. And also because all your mates think you're rich because you've got a record deal or whatever, and it's like no, I'm still splitting the bill. Like, I'm not flying everyone to St Lucia next weekend. Do you know what I mean? It's not how it's going. No.
Exactly. Yeah, but I like miss performing so much. Like sure. I love making the music, but then when I get to perform it live, it's just like I don't know. It's the best, and I like playing with musicians and stuff, and just being able to change the song in
exactly.
Just sing it how I feel like singing it that day as well.
Yeah,
I've got like a few performances actually lined up, which is cool. But
So what's the band looking like for these shows? What you got?
I've got just like drums, bass, keys, and then I'm playing guitar, which I'm really nervous about because you kill it. Before I had someone playing guitar, but we had to downsize because of the pandemic and stuff. And I was like, okay, guitar bits aren't that hard. I wrote some of them, so I know how to play them. But then I was like, do you know what? I'm sure there'll be like someone there that is like, I don't think I can play guitar and sing very well. I'll be like, look, if I can do it, then you can definitely do it. So I wanted to, be a little bit of a role model as well as challenge myself.
It's dope.
So that's the lineup, and I'm hoping to incorporate a little bit of live loop stuff as well, as much as I can do into this performance. But we'll see what happens. I'm very, very excited about it. I'm really, really excited about it, and it feels like a very, very important gig because it's like I feel like it's the next step after this.
Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah. Man, you'll have to get over. I don't think I'm in the UK, but if there's any things, it's for the 14th of July, right?
Yes, 14th, and then I've got a little festival after that.
Oh, nice.
I've actually got a performance next week. I'm going to talk. I always talk about these guys, but it's an organisation called Young Voices, and they're back. Well, I won't go too far into the backstory, but they do like big choir concerts across the UK for like primary school choirs. Sometimes it goes into like young secondary school. And they do it like the O2 and like Manchester Arena and stuff like that.
Yeah, we get loads of kids on the stage at the O2.
It's not like on the stage, it's like in the seats. Because let's say at the O2, they have 8,000 kids singing.
Nice.
And then the rest is like the parents and the supporters and everyone. Yeah. And I did it when I was like 8 years old. And then last year they asked me to be part of the tour, so like be one of the special guests that comes to sing.
Oh, that's
so
cool.
It was like
full circle thing.
It was amazing. Really cool. Yeah. It was very emotional, but like it's I don't know, just like it did feel like something had been completed. And it was me, the Shires, if you know who they are, and Tony Hadley.
All right.
From Spandau.
Yeah.
And it was just insane. And it was just, they've got an incredible live band. And it's just so cute. But next week they've got this thing called The Biggest Sing. And it's like they're trying to break their own world record at the moment. For the most people singing at the same time. It's like the biggest simultaneous sing. So, like, but it's going to be live streamed. It would obviously have had to be live streamed last time anyway because they can't get 300,000 people into the O2 Arena. No. But yeah, this time it's me and Yolanda Brown, who's a saxophonist, and Billy Ocean.
Oh, right, amazing.
Yeah, so we're going to be singing Lovely Day at like 2 o'clock, and there's over 300,000 people have signed up, and they've already broken the world record.
Yeah.
So
that's fantastic, though.
That's like that's my next gig, my first gig amazing. Back, nice. And we get to go to the actual O2 as well. So that's fun.
Amazing.
Oh, that's cool.
What a welcome back to live, eh? That's fantastic.
But I just love to shout them out because they do such great, fun, amazing stuff. And it's like a really weird, massive part of my life because that was the first time that I'd done like a big choir thing. The first time I was like properly singing instead of like dancing or something like that. So yeah, that's my first gig. I'm very excited about it.
Yeah.
And
really
like
good.
Billy Ocean and Yolanda are so cool.
Yeah.
So that's what's happening.
That's awesome.
It is amazing.
What 3 bits of advice would you give someone who's an aspiring singer looking at what you've done and wants to be the next Ruti to get to the point that you've got to now? What would be the most 3, if you was to sit down in front of that person, what would be the 3 most important things you'd want them to take away from that conversation and remember?
Okay. Try not to look at other people and what they're doing and comparing yourself to them. Obviously, look at other people, support them, love what they do and be inspired by them. But don't think to yourself all the time like, oh, I wish I was doing what they were doing, or how have they got, like, how are they so much better than me? Why does loads of people like them but they don't like me and stuff like that? Yeah. Don't worry about that stuff because, you know, like, you're your own artist. Yeah. You're very unique. Even if, you know, someone says you sound like someone else, you're not that other person though. You're yourself. And people have different ways of getting to places, and it's got different audiences, and different people are going to like different stuff. So don't compare yourself to anyone else. Well, that's
really good.
So much easier said.
Awesome. Yeah.
So much easier said than done.
Yeah, I know. Especially when you got Instagram and things like,
oh my gosh,
look at me, look at me, look at me.
That is, it is the worst thing. So, you know, Instagram is Instagram. It's its own thing. It's not. Yeah. It's not the be or end all of stuff.
No, it isn't at all.
Another piece of advice. There was another bit that I had, and I can't remember what it was. Oh my gosh! I literally was about to say something. Okay, wait.
It's all right. Don't worry.
Right.
Oh my gosh.
It's all right.
Oh, okay. This is more of a statement, I guess. Yeah. There's like not one way to do things. And I think when I went on to The Voice, I was like, oh, wow, there was people that I knew, or, you know, things I'd heard. People were like, it's not really the real way to do it though, is it? And I was like, at the time I was like, oh, I don't want to go on a talent show because, like, it's not the real way. Or I've been told it's not the real way. There's no real way. There is lots of different ways. Like, I went on this Voice not going to win. So, like, but I just wanted experience. I wanted to do something different, do something fun, because I was bored at school. No offense. But like,
shout out to school.
But like, no, don't worry about doing it the real way or doing it the not real way. Do whatever way you want, as long as it's like not corrupt and hurting other people. Yeah, like,
that's awesome.
That's a really solid bit of advice, because I've had that conversation with some people, right?
Yeah.
In throughout my music career, 100%, and sort of said, like, oh, I'd never do that. I was like, why? Like, I've written a few bits and bobs to some people and worked on some projects with them, and I was like, but it's like everyone in this weird fucking world that we're in musically, every one of us needs a leg up. Yeah. Like, we all do. Whether that's a handshake at the right time, or it's meeting somebody, or someone comes to your gig. Like, you have to be open to this stuff. And it might not always be right, but you've got a whole life to do stuff. Like, if you're contracted to like for a year or two or whatever, it's like, So what? Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like cool. Like, and people, I think it comes from a lot of jealousy actually, because the reality is people ain't got the bottle to do stuff, and they'd rather criticise.
Yeah.
It's like
Then
you
watch you
try
do it.
and watch
Yeah.
you do it, and it's like and go, oh well, she won it. Oh fucking hell! It's like yeah, because she actually got up off her ass, went to the audition, and got it. So like. You haven't. You're still sat there saying how shit everyone is. It's like, yeah, and it's you got massive props for that as well, because now you've gone through that. You've met the right people subsequently. Without it, you may not have, you know, and that is key, I think. And I've tried to say that to a lot of people. So it's perfect that it comes from the horse's mouth. Pardon the term, but it just is, isn't it? Like, because it's like, well, look where Ruti is now.
Yeah.
Well, what's about to happen. You know,
It's happening.
Absolutely.
It is happening. No, I mean like world domination level.
Okay, yeah.
We're on there. We're on there, obviously.
Yeah.
I can see it. I think you're going to be huge.
Speak
Yeah,
it.
man. Cool.
Yeah.
Speak it into existence.
This is
Go.
it.
Yeah, man. Like you'd be like
No,
bigger than
it's
Adele, I
cool.
reckon. By next year.
like, you know, I'm whatever. I really like singing, so I don't really
it's cute,
mind.
isn't it?
I'm just
We
like,
like you
love
singing.
doing stuff.
Crack on. Yeah.
But yeah, and it doesn't make you any less of an artist going on a talent show.
No, does it have?
Like all the people on that I was on the show with were just incredible musicians, artists, singers, everything. And like, yeah, I made some really great friends and contacts there. So
Yeah, that's
don't even
lovely.
worry. Okay, third piece of advice.
You remembered? I thought you were going to figure out.
No, that
Most
was
people
the-
forget. They're like, oh, what number were it?
That was the one that I forgot the most. But I guess leading on from that is kind of just take every opportunity that you can, so, especially if you're a performer. I mean, if if you're a writer as well, you know, showing people your songs as well is really important. But as a performer, I did lots and lots of as a young performer, I did a lot of performing. When I was like in school, there was loads of opportunities. Like every half term, there was a thing at school, and I did a lot of amateur theatre productions as well. But like I still had time on stage, working with a production team, working with a very small band, working with other people that are doing the same thing as me. Even if it's at a pub, like where two people are in there, you know, it's exposure, but it's not just exposure to people, but it's like exposure to being in that position, figuring out how you like to perform, give ways to like calm yourself down when you're really nervous as well, and like planting yourself in that space, trying not to engaging with the audience, but also allowing yourself to just enjoy the performance as well.
Yeah, for sure.
I definitely recommend. I'm glad that I was kind of encouraged to just do everything. But if there's something that doesn't feel right, like you're really, really not ready, then don't feel bad for not doing that. There's a lot of opportunities.
Awesome.
Yeah, you have.
Perfect.
Yeah. That's it.
Really good advice, honestly.
It is. It really is. Yeah.
It's really refreshing to hear it coming from a person that's kind of on the cusp of. Warren and I have said it a few times, but I think you're going to go on to huge things.
Yeah, for sure.
But also, it's such an exciting point in your journey, and it. You know, coming off this like huge wave and then just about to catch onto another one and doing your own thing and making sure it's in your own way. I think it's I think it's amazing. You're doing a great
really
job.
is. Yeah.
Thank you.
Nailing it.
And you know, there needs to be more artists in my view like that. I think more people who are focused on getting stuck in and making it their own and being individual, as opposed to just trying to be carbon copy cutouts of everybody. Just wants to look and sound exactly the same as each other these days, and it kind of. You know, I don't know, maybe I'm getting old and cynical, but I put the radio on, I'm like, oh, another one where they've just got that auto-tune on the vocal and it's, you know, it's some bad, I don't know, you just get kind of sick of it. So it's wonderful and refreshing to have someone like you
Thank you.
in there fighting the good fight for good music.
Thanks. Yeah.
So you've
Thank
mentioned
you.
the gigs, but what's coming around next? Any albums, any tours, if you're allowed to, things like that?
I'm not allowed to talk about tours.
I thought I was going to get it out of you as well.
Nah. But no. Actually, well, no. Definitely no tours.
Don't get yourself in
I'm
trouble.
gonna,
I'm only trying.
But
Just trying to get the scoop.
yeah, I've got that you know, I've got the biggest thing in a couple of days.
Exactly.
And then,
Amazing.
But I will have music out before the end of the year as well.
Brilliant.
And I guess I don't know what's going to happen after that. I've got a couple of festivals, one in the summer, one in the autumn.
Nice.
Cool.
Again, and then next year I am actually doing the Young Voices tour again. Shout out to them one more time.
Yeah.
And then after that, well,
we'll see.
Have to see.
World domination.
Yeah.
You stole the words.
Step
But
outside Adele.
I'm ready to, like, you know, get on my own tour, mini tour as well. That's not a secret. That's just like, I'm ready to do that.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming on. It's been an absolute blast having you on. Sorry about the technical snafu.
No, it's all good.
Oops.
No, it's been an absolute pleasure, Ruti.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Wish you all the best.
I'll get along to your show for sure.
Awesome. Yeah.
That's it.
Cool. Awesome. Have a nice rest of your day.
Thank you.
Yeah, we'll catch you at some point in the future.
Yeah.
See you in a bit. Bye. Bye.